And as Bangalore grows faster each day, for that matter, any growing city in the country, the demand for sustainable, responsible solutions grows with it. My name is Som Narayan and I co-founded Carbon Masters with a simple belief that organic waste, if treated responsibly, can power our future. Living in Bangalore, I saw two crises side by side: overflowing waste and rising energy demand. It struck us that what we were calling as waste was actually misplaced energy. Cities like Bangalore don't lack resources, they lack systems to unlock value from what they generate every day. Organic waste is renewable, local, and inevitable. People will always generate it. If managed scientifically, it becomes a predictable feedstock for clean energy and fertilizer. That reliably is powerful. It turns a daily liability into long-term climate and economic asset. Waste systems is focused on disposal and not value creation. Energy systems is focused on supply and not decentralization. And no one is connecting the two at scale. And we saw this gap where organic waste would simultaneously solve urban problems, energy access, and farmer organic input challenges as well. At Carbon Masters, we take segregated organic waste streams, convert it into biogas, upgrade into clean biomethane, and deliver it as usable fuel and organic fertilizer. In short, we turn cities' organic waste into clean energy for businesses and nutrients back to farms, making it a circular economy. Energy adoption depends on trust and convenience. Carbon Lights made green gas tangible, bottled, branded, reliable, and easy to use. We supply 365 days. It helped our customers see biomethane not as an experiment but as a direct replacement for their fossil fuels such as LPG and diesel. So performance-wise, Carbon Lights matches LPG for heat output and reliability. Emissions-wise, it's dramatically cleaner, near zero particulate matter, and significantly lower life cycle carbon emissions. It's a rare case where sustainability doesn't require a performance compromise. So early on, the smaller projects and the pilot showed us that the demand wasn't the problem, the supply was. Once the customers experienced stable pricing and clean combustion and supply, they didn't want to go back to their fossil fuel. The real constraint became on how fast we could build the infrastructure and create more and more supply for our customers. At some point, we hit a wall. We had the demand sorted, we had the technology, we had all the know-how and the excellent unit economics for these projects. But we didn't have the capital to expand. We didn't know who would support a climate tech idea like ours. Because you're building physical assets before revenue starts, right? You need digesters, upgradation units, pipelines. They all require capital years before they start generating revenue or even payback. So unlike software, climate solutions need actual infrastructure, steel, concrete, and then time before the impact shows up on the balance sheet. We needed funding partners who understood infrastructure projects. They understood patient capital, they understood impact, not just quick returns. Of course, this is extremely lucrative as a business model. But someone who believed in climate solutions need time to compound, but once they do, they create durable value. So we met Raj and Suresh. One of our investors introduced to Navaka. The conversation started around shared conviction. The climate infrastructure in India needs scale, not pilots. And Navaka understood the sector realities and asked the right long-term questions from day one. So we could develop our first project in Bangalore, just outskirts of Bangalore, with Hasrudala Innovations. We've called that as a JV Sustainable Impacts. It was Navaka's funding that helped us to complete the project. We in fact have repaid their debt from the first fund, and that helped us to plan multiple units post that. Gave us clarity and confidence on how to actually infuse capital into a project and then repay the capital back. We could plan multi-year expansions. We could then start working on multiple projects because of Navaka coming on board. So as I said, after Navaka came on board, we used the debt facility. We were able to create the facility as well as close out on the debt, refinance it on a longer term basis. And that helped us to go for a larger facility now. So that has helped us to go from what was a small scale facility in Bangalore, and now we have embarked on a much larger project, which is almost about 10 to 15 times of the initial scale. So that has helped us to to build a larger facility and scale the business. So growth for us means to have measurable carbon reduction, process as much as waste possible within the city and solve for the city, also create organic fertilizer at a very reasonable cost for farmers, create jobs in waste management. And if we don't pull all this together, it's not real growth for us. Now, of course, we need to make money on every project that we embark on, and that's happening. But you need all these impact metrics to be in place in order for us to make it a real business model for scale. In our journey of the last 6 to 7 years, we have shown units, about 4 units with different business models, and shown profitability at each of those units. We are now embarking on a waste to value park in Bangalore that will solve close to about 20 to 25% of Bangalore's organic fraction that's being generated on a daily basis. We will be scaling that to almost about 900 tons per day of processing, converting into clean biomethane, generating anywhere between 30 to 35 tons of biomethane injected into the grid. We will also show a huge scale in terms of organic fertilizer adoption by the cities surrounding farmers. With this, we want to create a blueprint for India. We want to show cities that can power themselves using their own waste. That's the future we want to present to the rest of the country.